Gillie the Kid and Wallo, Gillie the Kid, Gillie the King, whatever you want to call it. They were involved. They had to respond because their boss. I hate to use that word. Basically the owner of Barstool, sports. Basically. If you unfamiliar with the Barstool sports situation, if you've been living under a rock, $1 million worth of game is arguably possibly one of the top, with drink champs, I would say hip hop, you know, situations on the tube or whatever, So obviously, Barstool Sports is heavily promoted all throughout, $1 million worth of game. If you haven't seen the episode, they got an unbelievable show. But we'll get all into that. But obviously, the owner of Barstool Sports, Dave Portnoy, I believe that's his name. He came out and said some crazy stuff. David Portnoy, pardon me. This guy then came out and said some shocking claims. Obviously, the LSU women's basketball team is coming off of a national title. In historic fashion. It's got the whole world in a frenzy right now. It sent shockwaves throughout, and a lot of people had things to say, including the owner of Barstool Sports, Dave Portnoy. And he called the LSU, I can't even say it over the airways, obviously, out of respect for the YouTube guideline rules. But obviously the women's, not Caitlin, Angel Reese, she was called a classless. I'm pretty sure you heard the rest of it, and it's very shocking that in this age of social media, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all of the heavyweights, is shocking that people today are still loosely tweeting like it has no return. Back to the sender, that thinking you can send a tweet in the middle of the night and it goes unnoticed. That's not happening. This is a new day. This is a new era. So I think that was foolish, inconsiderate of his business as a whole, for Mr. David Portnoy to come out there and say all of these things. Now, it prompted a response from Gillie the Kid and Wallo. I'm always going to call him Gillie the Kid because that's how, I came up on Gillie. Basically, they had to respond. Make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to Flight Sports TV for more news, updates, and more on this topic. But back to what I'm discussing. Wallo and Gillie, they had to respond because they are being met with so much hostility, involved in this situation. This is very upsetting. So they had to say, listen, they don't agree. They're not in agreement with anything that this man said. They didn't like the comments. They made it very clear that they on the opposite ends. But, in that statement, they let it be clear. If you listen to it, you see they don't have no hatred towards this man. They have, for crying out loud, in the middle of the statement, they said that he loved them. So I mean, there you go right there from where we headed with this situation. More and more things is breaking out involving this situation, involving LSU women's basketball team. Everybody has something to say, and it all was not good. And for this man to come out and say this, I know it was disheartening. And now it has prompted a lot of people to want to push for these guys to leave. Is a tough spot. Something, I don't want to say it is the magnitude of what happened with Skip and Shannon, but they're going to be pushing for these guys to leave Barstool Sports. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case because I'm pretty sure they both could use each other. But this is an unfortunate situation. Gillie the Kid, and it's unfortunate for the man because you put your talent, the guys like Gillie, these people who come from different backgrounds from him, he puts them in a tough spot when you go out there and you say these claims with no regard for how they got to conduct their own business personally. They got a lot of friends, in the community. So for you to do that, it sends a clear message that you don't give a damn about anything that's going on, involving these two guys You know, so they had to respond. It was like, I'm telling you, it was their duty. They could be canceled behind this. Y'all don't think y'all understand a lot of things that's being said can affect business, especially, you know, if you looking, you know, if you're not, you know, like I said, you know where I'm headed with this. You know, so Gillie the Kid and Wallo got to tread a little softly, you know, unfortunately in this situation. You know, Gillie, like I said, I didn't like the fact, I like what they were saying, but I hated the fact that they went back and telling the guy that they love him and all of this stuff. You know, you're either going to make your statement loud and clear or you ain't going to make it at all. So that was the only thing I wish, you know, they was a little bit more assertive on, you know, and very emphatic on how they was feeling. But I mean, nonetheless, I mean, it is what it is. You know, people going to have something to say. Let me know your thoughts on this situation, man. Gillie the Kid and Wallo, they tremendous in this culture, believe it or not. So their opinion matters. You know, I just love what I'm seeing from a guy, especially in Gillie. You know, because Gillie was around for a minute. I mean, obviously, if you're familiar, it was everybody remember Gillie from the Lil Wayne situation. I ain't gonna get all into all of that. But that's how people fell in love with Gillie the Kid, and to see that he's still relevant to this day, you know, transitioning from, obviously, from, you know, rap to sports to just getting respected in all levels of entertainment. And I gotta commend him on that. And they got a great show, and they show could be in jeopardy. I'm telling you, the owner of Barstool Sports. You remember I said I hate to say boss owner. All of that stuff sucks, but basically the man who overseeing Barstool Sports, it sucks that basically they have to. It just sucks because Gillie the Kid and Wallo's show could be affected due to this partnership. How you know people don't say, you know what, anything being associated with that, it's over. You know, you never know what could go on and I'm not advocating for that. But they put them in a tough spot. You know, so y'all let me know your thoughts on this situation, because more and more details will come out, and as they emerge, we will be bringing it to you here at Flight Sports TV. Like I said, this is unbelievable, all of the stuff that's happening. I must admit to you, you know, it's crazy. I can't believe that women's basketball has got the world in the palm of their hands right now. And it's not all positive, but it is supposed to be positive. You know, it's unfortunate that people are twisting this in their own way, and it's for negativity. You know, but here at Flight Sports TV, we will always find the positivity in the situation, and we will bring it to the forefront. So make sure y'all hit that like button. And if you're new, you done stumbled to the right place. Hit that subscribe button. It's Flight Sports TV. We got a lot of content coming. We do daily lives. We got some of the best in the business. Connections stretching from coast to coast, region to region. It's Flight Sports TV. Peace and love, family.